It's 2 a.m. The room is dark. Your body is tired. And your brain decides, right now, this exact moment, is the perfect time to remind you of something embarrassing you did 3 years ago. Not yesterday. Not last week. 3 years ago. Something so old that the person involved has almost certainly forgotten your name. And yet here it is, in full detail, playing like it happened this morning. And you lie there, eyes open in the dark, face going slightly hot, and you think, why? Why is my brain doing this to me right now? It usually starts without warning. You're almost asleep. The day is done. And then, out of nowhere, it appears. Maybe it's something you said in a meeting that came out wrong. Maybe it's a moment from school, from years ago, where you tripped or said something awkward or laughed at the wrong time. Maybe it's a conversation where you misread the situation and only realized it afterwards. Whatever it is, it arrives with full emotional weight. The same heat in the face, the same contraction in the chest, the same involuntary cringe that moves through your body as if the moment is happening right now, in real time, in the dark of your bedroom instead of 3 years ago in a room you no longer visit. And the harder you try to stop thinking about it, the louder it gets. Here's what's actually happening. And I want to explain this gently, because understanding it changes something. At night, when the noise of the day stops, when there are no tasks, no distractions, no external demands pulling your attention outward, your brain's default processing system activates. This is the part of your brain that reviews, sorts, and attempts to make sense of unresolved experiences. And for a brain that carries social anxiety, unresolved experiences have a very specific category: moments where you felt exposed, where you were seen in a way you didn't want to be seen, where the social self you carefully manage felt, for a moment, out of control. These moments don't get filed away the same way ordinary memories do. They stay flagged, open, tagged as unresolved, as potentially still threatening, as something the brain hasn't finished processing yet. And at night, when everything else goes quiet, the brain returns to them. Not to hurt you, but because it genuinely believes that if it reviews them enough, if it analyzes them thoroughly enough, it will eventually find a way to resolve them. The problem is that there is no resolution available. The moment is over. It cannot be changed. And a brain looking for closure in a past it cannot rewrite will keep returning, keep reviewing, keep replaying, indefinitely. But there's a deeper layer to this that most people don't talk about. The embarrassing moments that haunt you at night are almost never random. They follow a pattern. And that pattern reveals something important about what your brain is actually afraid of. The moments that replay are almost always moments where you felt seen in a way that felt dangerous, where your imperfection was visible, where the carefully managed version of yourself, the one that seems competent and appropriate and together, slipped for just a second. And what the brain is really afraid of, underneath all the cringing and the replaying, is not the specific awkward thing that happened. It's the question it raised. The question that says, if people see me like this, unpolished and imperfect and slightly out of control, will they still want me around? That question is old, much older than the memory. And it's the real reason the memory doesn't fade the way other memories do. Because it isn't just a memory. It's evidence for a fear that your brain is still trying to resolve. If you've ever lain awake in the dark while your brain plays its greatest hits of social humiliation, I want you to know something that might help more than any advice about breathing or journaling or telling yourself it doesn't matter. The fact that these moments still have emotional weight doesn't mean they are still real threats. It means your brain cares deeply about belonging, about being seen as someone worth knowing. And that caring, however much it keeps you awake, is not a weakness. It is one of the most human things about you. The brain that replays your embarrassments at night is the same brain that wants, more than almost anything, to be genuinely connected to other people. It's running an old protection program in the wrong time zone. It thinks it's helping, and in its own frightened, sleepless way, it is. You don't have to make the memories stop. You probably can't. Not by force. Not tonight. But you can do something smaller and more honest. You can notice them arriving. You can let them play without following them all the way down. You can say to your brain, I know what you're doing. I know why. You don't have to keep searching for closure that isn't there. The moment is over. It was over the day it happened. You're the only one still living in it. And you're allowed to put it down.